So I get connected with you through Matt Boney. He mentioned many good things about you, and but this is my first time speaking to you, as you may know.
Yeah, yeah,
So, do you think we should start with you telling us a little bit about yourself, who you,
yeah,
what company you work
absolutely. Um, yeah, my name's Austin Igein, CEO, co-founder of Beachbox, which is now
for?
Keepsafe. It's a portable safe for the room that you can keep in hotel rooms to keep your stuff safe. It plays music, charges your phone, and then it also is a concierge. So we're looking to put this product
Nice.
in hotels around the country and then expand nationally or worldwide after that.
Nice, amazing. I don't think I ever heard of any business like this. To be honest, first time dealing with something like that. Have you come up with it yourself, or did you have an inspiration for somebody else, or maybe a friend told you?
Yeah, no, this is brand new. I did a lot of traveling in my late 20s, and
Nice.
in traveling, I saw this problem. I wanted to go down to the pool and to the beach, and whenever I went somewhere, I didn't feel safe, right? I
Hmm.
was always looking back at my things. Somebody would have to stay back and watch things, and my goal
Yeah.
is with this product is really comfort and convenience.
Nice. Okay, so what is beach box in plain English? So this is just a safe with where you can store your belongings. And how's this? Is it just somewhere laying around, or do you put it to the hotel's concierge, or?
Yeah, yeah. So
Or
what we're looking to do is we are looking to have a box in every hotel room,
okay.
right? And so in the room, there's typically a safe that's already there.
Yeah.
And so we are trying to compete with the traditional safes that are in the rooms.
Yeah.
You can keep the safe in the room, but what's so great about Beachbox, which is now KeepSafe, is that you can take it with you, right? So you could take that box down to the pool, to the beach, to the resort areas, right? That you
Nice.
go, that you're at with a hotel. With that box, right? It's going to open up. You're going to be able to store your keys, wallet, phone, those basic necessities that you carry around with you that are pretty valuable, right?
Yeah.
Your phone's $1,000, right? So, you're already at $1,000. Your
Yeah.
watch may be 500, 600. Your
Yeah.
sunglasses maybe 200, 300. So you have at all times potentially, $1 to $5,000 on you, and you don't even realize it, right?
Hmm.
And so we're trying to keep those things safe, which keep safe is why we kind of brainstormed that name,
Nice.
but also be that hotel amenity from in room to at the pool to at the beach or any resort area that you're there at. And so again, it's a safe. It has GPS. It has an
Nice.
internal camera, so we could see if somebody opens it and who opens it. Only if they open it. It has an alarm system, so you can set an alarm system. So if somebody picks it up and moves 10 feet away from where you are, it will start
Okay.
to alarm. And then
Nice.
also the box has a security strap that you can latch it onto a chair, like a beach chair or another object while you're outside or in on the go.
Cool. Yeah, no, it makes sense because my next question was actually, what if, okay, let's say you take it with you, but what if somebody's just going to snatch the whole case and run away with it? So there's an alarm system in place, right?
Yeah, alarm, GPS, so we can track any
Cool.
device in the world, right, wherever
Cool.
you're at,
Yeah,
and then
nice.
also security strap. So that security strap has metal that you can affix it to another item, and then you can't cut through it, right? You're not gonna be able to take it
Good.
off.
So
Yeah.
it's really secure. So how long would you say for a professional thief, how long would it take to break into the safe?
I mean, you'd have to have the right tools, and you'd have to have those tools in the open, right? Like, are you
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
really
yeah.
bring a
A
big
store, yeah.
cutter to the beach and be like, "Yeah, I'm on the beach with a lock cutter." It'd be so weird. People be
Yeah,
looking at
yeah,
you like, "What are you doing?" You know.
yeah,
And
100%.
then once you get that device, now you move it 10 feet. It's not gonna stop alarming. So you're gonna be carrying around a box that's
Hmm.
alarming, right? While you're
Yeah.
walking, and everyone's gonna be like,
Nice.
"What are you doing?" You know what I mean?
Okay. Makes sense. That makes sense. That
Yeah.
actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, cool. Because I was going to, proof test your idea a little bit, but you answered all the questions. It's actually great.
Yeah. No worries.
Nice, amazing. Okay, but what made you confident this is actually this actually gonna work. This is not just a nice idea or a nice concept. That there will be demand for the product and you'll be making sales.
Yeah, I mean, when you start a new idea, you never really know, right? You
Yeah.
you always believe that your baby is the prettiest and the best idea ever, and so we had to pressure test
Yeah.
that theory, and so for it was about 6 months on Miami Beach, I
Hmm.
built a team of about 4 to 5 people, and we were making $1,000 a day. So we were
Nice.
renting these boxes out every day, 30 to 40 units for
Hmm.
$1,000 a day on one street in Miami Beach. And when we saw that, I was like, okay, this has some legs.
Yeah.
People are using the product, whether they're using it for music, charging, or security, they were using the product. But the combination of the three things together
Yeah.
really works, right? And then in this next
Nice.
iteration, we're adding a 7-inch screen to the top because a lot of
Okay.
the questions we got were, "Hey, where do we eat next? Where do we go to party? Where do we go to a bar?" Right. So we're going to add a screen that gives suggestions, and that's ancillary revenue that we can make on the device as well. So we
No.
made 30 to 40 bucks on the device, right? 30 to 40 boxes at a
Okay.
time, and then now we're adding this kind of advertising marketing piece where if you want a slice of pizza, we're going to tell you the best pizza in South Beach, right? So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice. That's great.
it's about trial and error, right? So now we're like, okay, we were able to successfully rent 30 or 40 boxes on Miami Beach.
Okay.
Where were these people coming from, right? They're coming from the hotels, right? If they're coming from the hotels, why not put the product in the hotels
Yeah. Exactly.
that they're coming from? We're going to get more customers that way, as well as I don't need the overhead, right? Now I can get rid of my people, right? Because that's what we want to do, more with less.
Yeah.
Get rid of my people that were working on the beach, go straight into hotels, and then be a self-service product or self-serve revenue product
Okay.
where we get product placement from the hotel. User grabs it, takes it down with them. They are the employee for us, right? They're carrying it down to the beach, to the pool with them, and then they take it back up to their room.
That makes total sense. That's amazing. Cool. And so, do you have any employees now? It begs the question.
So I'm the only employee on the
Yeah.
sales side. We do have
Oh,
an electrical engineer, mechanical engineer,
yeah.
right? We have those types of employees, but in terms of who's the number one sales guy, it's gonna be me, right?
Of
So
course.
now
You're
we
always going to be number one sales guy.
exactly,
Randomly.
exactly.
Cool. Cool. Amazing. Okay. Wait, and you said there's a speaker too, so it plays music if you want, so it's some sort of entertainment too. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Nice.
Entertainment, charging, security.
Nice, nice, interesting. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your origin, your experience. So, what I read from LinkedIn, you come from Risk and Jersey. So the question essentially is, how did that shape? How did it shape how you think about building a security product?
Yeah, so risk management, 10 years, Archer senior developer, which, I help companies become compliant with
Yeah.
SOX, NIST, ISO, PCI. And typically there's 3 layers of defense. You have your first line, second line, third line, right? So when I made the product, I was like, we need to have 3 lines of defense, right? So we need to have cameras, GPS,
Yeah. Yeah.
alarms, right? And so
Yeah.
that's the 3 lines of defense kind of thing where you have, the person that's doing the work, the person that's auditing the work, and the third party external auditor. So in thinking about the features, I was like, there has to be at least 3 features that make this box secure. And
Okay.
so that's kind of how the correlation between what I did in my past life and what I'm doing today kind of works.
Yeah. Well, experience helped you directly understanding how security measures work. No, that's great. And also, you mentioned there was several. So right now you're in second iteration or second version of your product, right? So what was the very first iteration of the product? How did it look like? Well, what did it have inside?
Yeah, man. So, very first version, we took a gun safe. It was like 35
Hmm.
pounds. It was
Okay.
huge, man.
Okay.
35 pounds. It was black. It was probably about the size of like an air fryer,
Yeah. Yeah.
wide air fryer with handles. And it was 35 pounds. And I was carrying that around and I was asking people, hey, would you want to use this if
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
drop this off to you? and a lot of people were like, I don't know about that, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and but I mean, it had a lot of the same features. It had the safe, it had the music. It didn't have the security features such as the camera, GPS, alarm just yet. But that was our first iteration. The next iteration, I was like, oh, we got to make this thing look attractive. And so I made a 3D printed version of one. It had everything in it that it has today.
Yeah.
It's the touch screen on top. And that one sold every day. I went out to Miami Beach for 30 days straight
Yeah.
and I was able to sell the box every single day. And I was like, okay, well, now let me go make 30 of these, right? And so
Yeah.
you see
Nice.
how it goes from, you know, ugly prototype to decent looking to
Hmm.
now we're making $1,000. And the next step is, I think, is the hit, right? I think
Okay.
going from Beachbox to Keepsafe is going to be that hit.
Okay. No, that sounds amazing. And I have another question actually. So you mentioned that you started supplying them to hotels, but obviously end users are actual tourists or whoever's staying at the hotel. And this begs the question, who's your actual customer? Who would you classify as your customer? Hotels or end users?
So I think distribution or hotels are the distribution. I
Yeah.
think the true customer is that end customer. If
Hmm.
the hotel thinks this is a great idea, that's awesome. They're giving us a place to distribute or to push our product for product placement, right? And then the customers have to use that device. If they don't use the device,
Makes
the
sense.
hotels are going to kick us out.
Obviously, yeah.
That being said, right? That being said, if the hotels see that we're generating $5 to $10 and they call it ADR, right? If we're increasing their
Mhm.
ADR by $5 to $10, the hotels are going to start to become our customers, and they're going to be like, "Hey, instead of you making $5, we're going to want to make, we're going to add this to the resort fees
Mhm.
of these hotels, and now we're going to pay you out $2
Right.
regardless of whether or not people use them." So
Mhm.
right now it's kind of like a chicken and the egg. We would love for the hotel to be our customer. They pay us our $2, $3, you know, regardless of whether these things are being used. But I think
Okay.
what's going to happen is going to start at customers paying $5 a day. They're going to be like, wow, this is great. We should get in on this. Let's give them two instead, and we take the upsell, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. No, makes
yeah,
sense. That's
yeah.
cool. So right now it's essentially end users. So you work on some sort of commission base or like revenue share, I don't know, based with the hotels. But eventually you would love them to obviously become your direct customers and just rent out the boxes from you directly, yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, essentially put in the resort fee. So every
Oh
hotel
yeah,
charges resort fees. So increase your resort fee by $2, give it to the customer for free,
yeah.
and you know now your utilization is going to go from 20% to probably 50, 60, 70%.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that sounds amazing. Okay. And what's the first reaction of the manager when when you come in with the box and you say, "Hey, buy this or use this"?
So we're transitioning, right? So we were able to get about 5 or 6 hotels in Miami Beach that were
Mhm.
like, they heard beach box and they were
Mhm.
like, all right, go to the beach, you know. And they put us out on the beach. They put us in their
Yeah.
huts, right, on the beach. SLS. We work with the Boucher brothers for a little bit. We work with a Hilton property. So there was like 5 or 6 properties that were like, hey, go to the beach and sell it
Mhm.
through the huts. Um, and so now we are about 60 days away from having our first Keepsafe unit, which is the new name, right?
Mhm. Nice.
Keepsafe doesn't sound like a party product, right? It sounds
Mhm.
like this is an in-room amenity that people are able to use. And so we haven't started to approach hotels in mass just yet. There's a property in the Bahamas
Mhm.
that's interested. It's
Okay.
a Resorts World property in Bahamas. And then we have the Clevelander that's also interested in Miami Beach. And
Mhm.
so these are contacts that I reached out to and I said, hey, instead of us being on the beach, I want to be in your rooms. And both of them were like, all right, let me see what you got. Right. So once you have the final
Right.
prototype, which it's about 60 days out, then we will present to them and see if this is something that they want to pilot 20 to 30 boxes in the rooms. If those work, right, then we'll scale up to the whole
Mhm.
hotel. right? This scales very easily, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Previously,
good at.
we were doing 30 to 40 boxes. Now, hotel rooms, I mean, any hotel that you go to is going to have more than 100 rooms typically, right?
Okay,
So we're now able to scale from, zero to 1,000 rooms very quickly with a couple of yeses. Three
that's
hotels,
amazing.
4 hotels, you're at 1,000 boxes out in the field.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's you see, that's the good thing about this kind of businesses. As soon as you prove this works, you'll just blow up, like
Yeah.
skyrocket. That's amazing. Yeah, cool. What's okay? Then the next question is going to be is what surprised you the most about guests' behavior once the units are actually been deployed and utilized by them?
Yeah, so I mean, the amount of time that these people use the box, right? So, once we get it in their hands, we were typically doing like a 15-minute free trial, right? Then they're like, "Oh, let me keep this," right? I want to hang on to this. How much is it? 20, 30 bucks, 40 bucks?
Yeah.
No problem. People would stay at the beach from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 8 p.m. playing music, charging their phones up, going in and out of the water with our devices. And so the length of time that people were using this was incredible, right? It was
Right.
like once they got it, they were like, "This is so cool. I'm hooked." Right, but getting them to get the product, that was the hard part. We had to, like, hey, would you like to try this new product that's coming out in South Florida, blah blah blah, right? Like that was the uphill battle. But once they had it in their hand, they would come back, right? So the
Right.
next day they come back out. Where's my beach box, right? So they have repeat customers, which that's always cool, right? When
That's
people
good.
are like, they see the value of what you're bringing to them, and then we had people take them off the beach. And because we can GPS track them, they took them to their hotels, they took them to restaurants, they took them jet skiing, and we would have to call people and say, "Yo, where's our box at? You can't take it off the beach, right?" But
Nice.
now we're changing that model because they're going to be able to take it wherever they want to and bring it back, right? But
Nice.
previously, I mean, these guys were doing all types of things with these boxes, which was cool.
Nice. Yeah, interesting. This business reminds me of like similar business that recently became popular. Portable charging devices to rent out just in the hotels and stuff that blew up. And at first, I think I saw it. I'm not sure. I think first I saw it in the UK, but then I know there were many, many countries who don't have it yet. And whoever's starting a business right now with this kind of device, they just skyrocket. And I think there's going to be the same with your device because I think this is amazing. You mentioned this is waterproof, yeah?
So it is water resistant. Like it can storm and rain on it, but if you throw it in the ocean,
Okay, okay,
it's not
okay,
gonna
very good.
last. Not yet, not yet.
Okay,
Eventually,
okay,
we're gonna make
then.
it IP67, but yeah,
Okay, no, makes sense, makes sense. But yeah, what I was saying is, it's amazing because it's a speaker, it's a portable charger, it's a port. Sorry, man, I think we disconnected for a second. Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was saying that this is a portable charger, this is a speaker, this is a safe, this is everything in one. And as you mentioned, people love it. People want to take it everywhere, to restaurant, to home, sleep with it, So it's
Yep.
amazing. You should definitely make it possible so they can carry it around anywhere they want. Yeah, amazing. Cool, cool. Let's move on probably to the section where we're going to cover the hotels and how it benefits them. So eventually, off record, you can use these clips to promote your business as well. So you lead with the free for hotels. I read it on your website. What made you choose that and why it works and how and why it works in practice?
Yeah, I mean, hotels, what they care about is generating revenue and
Yeah.
guest satisfaction, right?
Okay.
So I feel as though the proof is in the pudding, right? Once we put those boxes in the room, if we can help generate revenue, right? $5, they get
Yeah.
$2, or $1 per rental that that's increasing their RevPAR, that's increasing their ADR, right? And hotels care about that. I know eventually that this product could probably be $10 a day. Right now we're doing $5. Like Uber did super cheap rides at first, right? Get people hooked, let them try it, and it's free to the hotel,
Yeah.
right? But it's also free to the user for an hour as well, right? So we're doing a free to paid motion and a free to revenue motion for the hotel. Free to paid means they get an hour free, then they get to use the device. Free to revenue is the box is free, and then we're going to give them a piece of that revenue for the product. And the reason why we chose this is because we're trying to increase guest satisfaction on the go, right?
Yeah.
And hotels care about revenue, so let's give them what they want, right? If they get what they want, we're gonna get the opportunity to
Absolutely.
be that product placement in the rooms.
Absolutely, yeah. You'll make them happy, they'll make you happy. No, that makes sense. Okay, so you offer these boxes for free, but then you share the revenue with the hotels, right? Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And what would you say, how, probably not percentage-wise, but in terms of number of US dollars daily, does your boxes help increase the revenue for the hotels?
Yeah, so I mean, it really is going to depend on the revenue share. So if is it $1, is it $2, is it $5 that we are splitting, right? Depending on price as well. It could be $5 or $10. We got to come up with the pricing. I know initially it's going to be super dirt cheap so that we get engagement. So if it's 50-50, $2.50 would be the increase in average daily revenue per room that it's being used in, right?
Okay.
The other side of that is there is the advertising piece of this, right? So you're not only getting something for free in the room, but you're able to then advertise your restaurant, you're able to advertise all the amenities that you have on your property, and you will earn ancillary revenue from everything that's going on around you. So let's say the Food and Wine Fest was last week in Miami Beach, right? If the Food and Wine Fest wants to advertise on our screen, somebody clicks that button, you're going to earn revenue off of that as well. So, I mean, it could be anywhere from, $2.50 to $10 a room, which is, that could be 10% of, the total price of the room, right? $1,000, 10%, or I guess that's a little high, but
Yeah.
you get the point, right? It can go up to probably about $10 per room a night,
Okay. That's
which
not
I
bad.
think is pretty solid.
That's great, yeah. If so, right now it's 2.5 because you just launched recently, and you're obviously trying to just get client satisfaction, client retention to then increase price. Same with Uber or with
Yep.
most businesses. So that makes total sense. But then you want to increase it and reach about $10 per day, per room per day increase for each hotel. So let's say if they have like 500 rooms, it's going to be $5,000 additional revenue. It's amazing. That's great. Daily. Nice, cool. Okay, so, and what makes a hotel perfect fit versus a bad fit?
So I think the hotel fit works because we know where our customers are coming from. They're coming from hotels, Airbnbs, short-term rentals properties, right? So we knew all those people were coming down from their rooms to go to the pool and go to the beach. So I would say that is why we know it's a good idea. In terms of hotels as a bad idea, hotel managers are very busy. They want to increase revenue, decrease costs, decrease as much overhead and what they have going on a day-to-day basis. So I think finding general managers that are, that have a little bit of extra bandwidth, that are interested in trying new things, like that is what we gotta find. And my goal with these general managers, like I think my marketing plan for them is going to be to design a pizza box. I'm going to design a pizza box with our product on it, and it's going to say, hey, can I have 15 minutes with you? And I'm going to give it to the front desk, 3 to 4 pizza boxes to the front desk every other day, or maybe every couple of days, right? And it's hospitality, right?
Yeah.
If you're hospitable to their employees, I think those GMs are going to pick up the phone and be like, let me give this guy a call back. He's been buying my staff pizzas for the last month, right? I should at least just give him a call back.
This is
Because
brilliant. This is
these
amazing.
guys
I
are,
never-
these guys are so busy. And I mean, you got to think about 300 guests, right?
Yeah.
That are in the hotel, like, and then this guy is trying to reach out to me and get 15 minutes on my calendar. It's
Nice.
difficult. Yeah.
This is so cool, actually. I never heard of anything like this. This is a brilliant idea to, get in touch with the hotels. Yo, that's so cool.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Right. Okay, so let's move on to more of a business side, internal business operations and everything. So what was the hardest? What part of the business is the hardest to get right consistently? Is it hardware? Is it operations? Is it distribution? Or is it adoption?
So I think distribution to date has been our hardest challenge. When I started this business, we were on the beach, right? So you had to go to every hotel,
Yeah.
right, and kind of strike up a contract with them.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's rules on the beach, right, where you actually can't sell things to everybody on the beach. You can only sell things to a specific area, your specific hotel. So you can't go between hotels
Yeah,
and
yeah.
sell. And so we didn't have any distribution, right? And that was our biggest problem. And now with the Keepsafe is one hotel becomes a distribution point for 2, 3, 4, 500 rooms, 1,000 rooms, right? Fountain Blue's 1,000 plus rooms, right? So we see like distribution through the hotel in the hotel room is the only way that this thing is going to work. So I think we've solved distribution. The next piece is adoption, right? And this is going to be, I think it leads into one of your other questions. How do you know it's going to be successful or something to that effect? Is this product has to be self-serve. And what I mean by self-serve, that top of the screen that says, try me for an hour free, if nobody clicks that button, this business isn't going to work.
Okay.
Right? So those two things have to be perfect in order for this business to work. Is the hotel going to give me the opportunity to put my product in the room? One. And two, once it's in the room, how many people are going to hit that try me for an hour free? And that's what we got to figure out.
Okay. Makes sense.
And it has to be without me marketing to them. I can't be in their room like, hey, you should try this product, right? Like it has to be them who see the product and then they're like, all right, let me try this out. What is this?
Exactly. Yeah. Unless you're gonna find a way to put a little more, I don't know, a screen with you talking and trying to sell to them. Maybe. Do you have like a station somewhere, or do you just bring the boxes? How does that work?
It sits on a charging base. I don't know. Do you guys typically show product or?
Yeah. Yeah. If you have it, go ahead. Absolutely.
Let me see if I can pull it up really quick, just so people can get an idea of what we put together. So I'll share really quick.
To be honest, I thought you have it like at home. Like you're gonna pull it out from under the desk. Cool. Oh, all right.
Yeah. So this is the device here. So Keepsafe. It's about 7 pounds in weight, and it'll sit on a little charging base, either on the nightstand or on the desk in the hotels. And then here's kind of the revenue structure, right? So we have rental revenue of 20%, we have ad revenue of 20%, and then if somebody was like, hey, I want to buy this product outright, we have another 10%. So we plan to also sell these direct to consumer, probably between $299 and $399. We got to see what that final cost is. So this is kind of the brochure that we send out to our hotels that we're scouting, and everybody's been saying, hey, this looks great.
This looks fucking amazing.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I just said this looks amazing. This looks really professional and cool, like Apple style.
Yeah. So
Really nice.
we're super excited about that as well.
That's great. No, that's amazing. Okay, yeah, that definitely answers my question. So, slowly rolling back to where we were, what's the biggest bottleneck, you would say?
Right now, biggest bottleneck is getting this out to production. So Right now, I think we're about 60 days away, but it's been 8 months,
Okay.
right? So we're still, about a month and a half away, and it's been eight, and so it just takes time, And I don't know if you've heard the saying, "Slow is smooth, smooth is fast," right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we're moving slow, and we got to get it right this time. I'm on my fourth
Yeah.
iteration of this product, and so it's got to be right. And so there's things that I'm pushing back on, and I'm like, that's not acceptable, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to get successful, and I'm sure this is the right approach because you rather postpone. It's like GTA 6. How many,
Yep.
like 8 years they keep postponing, but in the end it's going to be like spot on. So definitely going to compensate for those 2 billion spent.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that approach. That's super, super right, I think. So wait, so how much does it cost you to produce one thing, one box?
Yeah, so our cost is probably around $250 per unit.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we're trying to get that cost down to about 150 bucks per unit.
Okay.
But I mean the unit economics still work out, right? So 250 divided by $5, what is that? Is that 50?
Yeah, it's 50.
Right? In 50 days you break even on the unit, right? And now you're pumping money for the next 2 years that these boxes are in service.
Yeah. Okay. No, makes sense.
So very very good unit economics.
Nice. Okay. And so, how many units have you produced yet?
So with Beachbox we produced 100,
Okay.
and we were renting about 30 to 40 units a day. But again, we have like the way that business was scaling was not effective, right? So we had to have 4 to 5 employees. We could only be on certain parts of the beach. Like we couldn't really, expand outwards when we had that business versus this one. Once we get 30 boxes into that hotel, if they think it's working, if they're like, we want more, right? You're gonna scale from 30 to 300 in overnight, right? And I have to go
Yeah.
figure out how to get that done. But I mean, the hotel model is just so much easier.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Have you been funded for the for this business idea?
Yeah, so I've raised about $1 million so far
Okay.
for
Good.
the business, and so yeah, it's been a ride. Fundraising is not easy.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah, I know. That's great. No, okay. In that case, you can actually postpone. And actually, I think what you're doing right now, the strategy you've taken about perfecting the product first before launching it is the best, especially if you fund it. You have the capacity and you have the ability to perfect your baby before putting it out to people. And yeah, I'm sure you're going to be very, very successful at it because I think that's a great idea, genuinely. What's your main growth channel right now then? Is it just door to door? You go into hotels or you reaching out by email or calling them or you said pizza boxes? It's amazing.
So I think it's going to be a mixture, right?
Cool.
It's going to be the using an AI agent to scrape the hotels that I want to target that are in a specific area, and then Apollo IO. I don't know if you use Apollo,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you can get
I'll,
anybody's phone number, email, right? So I'd send a sequence of emails out to them, three to four, and then I'd show up with the pizza boxes. So you want to say, hey, I've been trying to
great.
reach you guys, and here's how I'm going to do it in person.
That's
And
great.
I think the pizza box thing is going to work out pretty well. Um,
That's
but I
really
think
cool.
the initial email, like just so you could say, hey, I sent you an email as well, professionally, and
Yeah.
then I'm pulling up on you guys personally.
No, 100%. Yeah, I know what you mean. We run like my background is in email marketing and lead generation, and obviously for our company, we run lead generation heavily on the LinkedIn, on email, obviously inviting on the podcast, stuff like this. Yeah, I
Yeah.
found it to be honest, it's very hard. Like people so guarded to the emails.
Yep.
They just don't want to respond to it. They say, "Oh my God, somebody's trying to sell me something. Get away!"
Exactly.
So it's annoying.
Exactly.
Um,
One other thing. Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
There's a big conference called High Tech
Okay.
that's coming up. It's a hotel technology conference, and so I think that's going to be a great opportunity. We're going to have, I think, 3 to 4,000 people general managers, VPs, et cetera, Marriott's of the worlds, right, in a
Okay.
room. And my goal is to get a booth. And I think once we get a booth there, I mean, we're gonna skyrocket, right?
100%. That's amazing.
So
That's really cool. Yeah, yeah,
conferences are
that's
great
cool.
ways to sell as well.
Nice, nice. Okay, then the next question is going to be, so you mentioned your growth channel is just like a mixture of everything. You said, oh, by the way, you said you're using Apollo. I actually personally recommend A-Leads because the email quality is better and I think they're a little bit cheaper. But yeah, this is just off topic.
No,
Whatever. So, okay, so where does it usually slow down? Where the process slow down? Let's say you get in touch with the prospect and do they like, okay, yeah, bring them in, or do they like, okay, let me speak to my manager. There's 1 month, 2nd month, 3rd month. They're like, yeah, I'm about to do that. Where the process stops?
yeah, I mean, it's really been the meetings, right? So they're always so busy, right? So we'll show up, scheduled meetings at 10 a.m. and they're like, hey, I got to push it to tomorrow. And
Yeah,
tomorrow becomes next week and next week becomes next month.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and I mean, you got to find a balance between pushing too hard and just letting them kind of reach back out to you, right? And so the ones that I've had good relationships with, they've reached out and said, "Hey, Oz, how you doing? You know, are you ready? You know, like those are the warmer relationships that you want." But again, I think monkey see, monkey do, right? You're gonna have one big hotel do this, and then they're gonna say, "Hey, this is generating X amount of revenue for us on a monthly basis. Why not try it?" Right? And so I think once we get into our first hotel, it'll be a snowball effect, right? Why don't we have that product? Or a guest asks about the
Sorry,
product.
you breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
I think you're back in line. I don't know. Yeah, it just got off for a second.
No, you're
Keep going.
good. So yeah, I think it's really going to be a snowball effect with these companies, right? I think
Absolutely.
once the first one gets it, they're going to be saying, "Hey, this product's generating X amount of dollars for us. You guys should try it." But
Yeah.
then also once guests start saying, "Yo, you guys don't have the Keepsafe here." Oh no, like they're going to start
Yeah, yeah.
leaving feedback like, "Wow, you guys should have this." Right? And so that's going to drive business as well. So it's going to come from the other hotels, but it's also going to come from customers, I believe.
That's cool. Is it hard to get in front of like the right people, the decision makers?
Um, it hasn't been too difficult. We typically will get in front of the general managers,
Right.
probably meeting like by attempt number 3 or 4, right? Like we go up there, we show up, we get in touch with the front desk. Front desk gets us the email. The email goes, so it takes probably like 3 to 4 times
Okay.
to get in front of them.
Why do you think that is? Like, is it trust? Do you think they don't trust you because you like kind of new to them, or is it the product they don't believe in? What do you think the reason?
We've gotten yeses
Hmm.
um, on the beach. So I mean, I think it might be a little bit of trust. They don't know who we
Yeah,
are,
like
who we are
always.
as a company. I mean, once you start mentioning brand names like, yeah, we work with Marriott, that then things get a little bit easier. Hey, we are
Hmm.
already working with Marriott. So I
Yeah.
think brand familiarity is a piece of it. I think busyness is a piece of it. Like they're just like I already have safes, right? Like like that's been something that some people have said. I already have safes. Why do I need this, right? Um, the aesthetic, the beach box, right? The name of that product sounded like it was for the beach, right? And so that
Hmm.
was another thing that I
Okay.
think turned
Appealing.
off people, right? Whereas this product is more elegant. It looks like it can fit inside of a room, you
Right.
know. So there's just a couple things that I think made it a little bit more challenging.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So do you think if they would have like know you, if they trusted you, know you, you would like skyrocket your sales?
100%.
Makes sense.
So I know the VP of Resorts World and in
Hmm.
Las Vegas, and she was like, "Hey, come out with a box. I'll comp your room,"
Hmm.
and show me the product. If I like it, I'll introduce you to the GM in Bimini, which is the Bahamas,
Nice.
right? And so it's really who you know. So I mean, if I was in her place, or if I knew other GMs very well, they'd be like, absolutely, the product is free. Okay, well, absolutely, put them in our rooms, right? So, but you got to get to that point where you start to build those relationships with these companies in order
Absolutely.
for them to trust you. I mean, the other side of this is really hiring a consultant in the hospitality space. So I have a consultant. He's like, oh, I'm $2,000 a month for consultancy, but he knows every GM in South Florida, right? So like leveraging people who have those relationships also
Yeah,
can help as well.
absolutely. Yeah.
Once we do get our first and second hotel, I'm gonna say, hey, can I reach out to you? I think his name's Steve. I need to remember, but I think his name is Steve, and I'll reach out to Steve and say, hey, we're ready now. We have these 3 hotels. Can you
Nice.
get us into the next 20?
Nice, cool. Okay. So I see, yeah, as far as I understand, so the biggest bottleneck essentially is trust, but you're solving this with hiring people who are referring you, and just generally, it's just like a little thing you need to overcome, and then it's going to blow up. Cool. Sounds good. Okay, then for today is going to be last question. What are you, where's your most focus, and what are you most focused on over the next 6 to 12 months, and what would real progress look like by then?
Yeah, so I guess 3 things. One is get that first iteration of the product done. Get it done by May, June latest, right? Once that first box is perfect, then we say, let's find our first hotel, right? And let's put 30 units in that first hotel, right? Once we put our first 30 units in that hotel, that's going to tell us a lot. It's going to say, is this business going to be successful or not?
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
exactly.
You're going to see that in the first, 30, 60, 90 days. Are people using the product that is in the room, right?
Absolutely.
If those 30 boxes work and the hotel is like, hey, we want 300, we have a business, right? By the end of 2026, it's really to determine, do we have a business in the hotel room space? Can we be the next safe that exists in hotel rooms,
Yeah.
right? Let's get rid of the antiquated safes that are in the rooms, and let's use Keepsafe as our safe of choice, right? Can that happen? Right? That's our real goal.
It would be so cool, actually. I'm just thinking right now, so you can have a portable, obviously a keep safe thing, and then eventually, when you're big enough, you can start just like making simple safes, or just how do you say, like stable standing safes inside the rooms as well, and just monopolize the market completely.
Yeah.
Nice, amazing,
And
cool.
and our boxes, our safes, Keepsafe can still be used in the room, right? That
Absolutely. Yeah.
you could literally leave it there with your stuff in it if you don't want to take it with you. So we're already competing against those traditional safes in that manner.
Amazing. Thank you very much for this podcast. It was a big, big pleasure speaking to you, meeting you, hearing about your product. I really actually generally think that's an amazing concept, and you'll be very successful with it if you're going to get to the right people. And yeah, this is just about time.
Yeah, awesome, David. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate the time, and looking forward to keeping you in the loop.
Absolutely. Thank you.